Hey guys, welcome to the WrestleMania 27 review, otherwise known as the very first WrestleMania to pass by in the time that I have gotten this channel. Now, I told you guys I didn't know when I was going to get this done. I told you guys it definitely wasn't going to be right after the show, for sure, because I was exhausted after the show, not gonna lie, and I was a very happy kid, as most of us real wrestling fans are. I've watched it. I had the good sense and fortune to book today off, so I've watched the pay-per-view through twice more. Broke out the clipboard. All told, there's about 9 pages of notes here on WrestleMania. So there's your fair warning. If you want to go grab a drink and snacks and whatever and come along with me for what I have to say, then that's fine. If you're thinking, oh, that's way too much for me to listen to, I guess I can't really stop you from turning the video off, can I? But there you go. There's your fair warning. So there we go. And what do we say? What do we start the show with? We start the show with the national anthem, which I don't really care about because I'm not American, but Carrie Hilson sang the national anthem. I have no idea who Carrie Hilson is or how, other than she's from Atlanta where the show was, so I guess that's kind of important. And for all intents and purposes, it was not Justin Bieber, which was a very scary rumor a couple of months ago, wasn't it? We then have an introduction package for The Rock, which was full of hype and bravado, as you would expect from The Rock. Then you have a very, very long opening little spiel from The Rock. Like, I don't mind listening to The Rock. The Rock will cut up everybody better than anybody else and get everybody going just as good as anybody you can think of. But it's pay-per-view. We didn't pay to watch somebody talk, did we? No. And then we actually get the WrestleMania opening video package, which is another, I don't know, minute or so. All stories being told, the first match starts at 18 minutes into the show. And, for the first of many surprises in the night, the very first match is the World Heavyweight title match. So, what do we want to say about Edge and Del Rio? I will say, for all the big Del Rio pushers out there, I still don't like him. He went up a lot in my personal opinion books throughout this match. This was a good match, and let's go. Christian was down at Edge's ringside, as we all hoped he would be, because Brodus Clay was there. Christian got his own entrance though, which I thought was kind of cool. It's recognition that Christian is a big star. It's somebody that the people want to see, and it's somebody worth recognizing. So he got his own entrance into the ring, while Brodus Clay just got to sit at the announce table while Del Rio came out. So it's like, yep, Christian is up here, you are way down here, and that's good. Not that I want to put the guy down, but it's like, no, you aren't up there. You might be in somebody's corner at this match, but you're not up there. You're not where Christian is. I would really love it if they gave Christian a push this year, like a hard push. I mean, I know there's some hard TNA feelings involved there somewhere, but give the guy a push. Give him a good, decent rivalry with Edge or something. I don't know. Anyways, Alberto Del Rio is introduced twice. They introduce his ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez. Then Rodriguez introduces him while he's coming down to the ramp and into the ring, and then when they announce the match, he's announced again. So that's a bit redundant, isn't it? Anyways, the match starts off, stiff collar and elbow tie-up, exchanging shots back and forth. Edge gets a backdrop on Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio starts working Edge's arm immediately. Edge dumps Alberto Del Rio outside. Alberto Del Rio takes Edge's arm to the wall, to the step, not just throwing him around, but specifically by the arm, by the shoulder, by the elbow, into the arm, into the steps, etc. Back in for a failed pin and an armbar by Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio ties Edge's arm up in the ropes, hits an arm breaker in the ropes, which was quite a nasty little slingshot type maneuver, and another armbar for Edge from Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio misses a dive through the ropes and lands to the outside, and Edge somersaults over the ropes into him and brings him back in. Alberto Del Rio hits a dragon screw, not a dragon screw, but a very nice arm lock toss off the top rope, dragging Edge off of the top rope, which is a very, very nice spot. Edge hits a spin kick on Alberto Del Rio and a big boot, 2 clotheslines and a flapjack from Edge, and Alberto Del Rio gives Edge the code breaker, like a Jericho-style code breaker type thing, except he does it with the point of his knees going right up into Edge's arm. The psychology in this, has to be said, is outstanding. This and one other match on the card are untouchable for psychology as far as I'm concerned. Edge's roll-up is countered into a rolling arm lock by Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio hits an enziguri on Edge while Edge is standing on the top rope. Another good, quick, running to the top rope type of maneuver for Del Rio, which looks really good. It made me think, the only thing I can really compare it to is when Angle jumps the ropes and hits the release belly to belly off the top. But you've got the one with the arm lock, or the arm drag off the top rope, which was quick and efficient, and then you've got this, which is just step kick and you're done. 2 very, very nice spots from Alberto Del Rio so far in this match. Rodriguez tries to get involved. Christian chases him away. Brutus Clay tries to cut off Christian. Christian starts throwing deep hands at Brutus Clay, and Alberto Del Rio turns his attention from the match to Christian. Oh yes. Fisherman style throw from Clay to Christian on the outside while Edge tries a quick roll-up pin and fails. Quick DDT on Alberto Del Rio from Edge. Edge misses the spear and Clay pulls Edge's arm into the ring post. The injured arm, obviously. Alberto Del Rio tries for the cross arm breaker. Edge counters into the execution submission, which Alberto Del Rio didn't really look like he knew how to sell that. He was kind of on his side, and you can actually see Edge at one point push him down into the position that he's supposed to be in for the execution. Christian hits a nice tornado DDT on Brutus Clay outside the ring, and a spear for the win. All in all, a good match. I would say an excellent match if it wasn't for all the outside distraction stuff. It was great because the people on the outside, Christian, Brutus Clay, and Roberto Rodriguez is his name, I think. They were out there. They were pests in the match, but they didn't have a great impact on the match itself. There wasn't too much bullshit that way. It's just what they were doing among themselves was a distraction from the match, and we could have done without it. But the long-term fans want to see Edge and Christian together, so that was that. And Brutus Clay just ends up looking like an idiot in the long run, and Rodriguez kind of always looks like an idiot. The only problem I have with this, and the only thing that kind of makes me go, ugh, from calling this a great match, Edge sells the arm the whole match. Del Rio works the arm the whole match, and the psychology is superb. But you're going to tell me that Edge wins the match with a perfectly executed spear on that shoulder. Either it should have been sold as not as effective, and maybe it took 2 spears to take Del Rio down, or Edge should have hit the spear and sort of recoiled in pain or whatever. That's a very, very minor thing. It's the one little tiny thing that bugs me about this match, but I can let go, because as far as the match goes itself, it was quite good. And of course, Edge and Christian destroying Del Rio's Rolls Royce on the rampway as they leave was epic as well. We have a promotion for Tough Enough. We have Cole, and he was talking shit to the King and Josh Matthews. Here's my first sort of big qualm about this night. King and Cole were having a match. Why they were co-commentating the first half of this show, I'll never understand. The bickering between the two of them got so annoying at some points that it was just unbelievable. Anyways, we move on to Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio, and I was hoping that they would surprise me in this match, and they did. So let's take a look at what happened. Rey Mysterio came out as Captain America, keeping up his trend of coming out as comic book characters. Why do people text me while I'm trying to do videos? Coming out as comic book characters at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, my favorite is still him coming out as the Joker, which most people didn't like and thought was creepy, but whatever. Rey starts with a head scissor. Cody hits Rey repeatedly with a headbutt with the mask. Cody goes for Rey's knee brace right away and follows up with more attacks with the mask. Cody gets a failed pin attempt and continues to beat down Rey in frustration. Camel clutch on Rey. Rey fights back with another head scissor into a submission. The submission is countered into an Alabama slam by Cody. Cody continues on and on and on, beating and headbutting and kicking and such to Rey's head. So I guess that's, Cody's focus of the night. Rey to the top rope, met by Cody. 16 seconds. Here we go. This is another beautiful spot. There was two beautiful spots in the last match. There's this one too. Rey goes up to the top rope to do something. Cody's up there on the second rope, holds him in a vertical suplex, and a delayed vertical suplex is nice. But when I watched the tape back, I sat there and I timed it. He held him up for 16 seconds. Delayed vertical suplex from the second rope. Amazing, and it looked good, and the fall looked good, and the selling was good, and it was great. Rey arm drags Cody to the outside and head scissors Cody's face into the apron. Seated senton on Cody, and Rey goes for Cody's mask for the first time. Another head scissor. Rey misses the 619. Cody hangs Rey up in the ropes. Cody removes Rey Mysterio's knee brace and tosses it to the outside. Rey hits a top rope moonsault on Cody and takes off Cody's mask. So Rey has no knee brace. Cody has no mask. Rey wears Cody's mask, attacks him repeatedly, hits him with a mask headbutt for what we think is going to be the win, until Cody breaks away, heads to the outside, grabs Rey Mysterio's knee brace, quickly bashes him in the face with it, and gets a quick pin. Other than the fact that it looked like they were both fighting over weapons the whole match, there was some good stuff to this match. It was fast-paced. Like I said, the Cody Rhodes' suplex spot on that was superb. It ends really, really abruptly, is my problem with this. Cody Rhodes got the win. That was the big thing, because other than John Cena, who I'll talk about later, Rey Mysterio really is one of WWE's superheroes who rarely ever loses, and it makes anybody going up against him, it's got to piss them off, because they know in advance they're going to go in and they're going to be sacrificed for the sake of making this, superhero character. So Cody Rhodes gets the win. Not to say that I'm a huge fan of Cody Rhodes. Again, like Del Rio, he showed me a lot in this match that I didn't expect, so my respect for him has gone up leaps and bounds. I don't necessarily like the guy, but I like that Rey didn't win. And that sounds vindictive of me, doesn't it? Alright. Okay. We have an interesting little spot in the back. Snoop Dogg's back at WrestleMania, but he's not there for anything. He, like what before, when he came out in his little pimped out golf cart and he was the MC for the women's match and whatnot. But he's just kind of hanging out in the back with Teddy Long, and he says, I should start talent scouting. I should have some new talent to take on the road with me. So they sit back and they do this little American Idol ripoff little skit. Regal comes out and tries to rap, and that's just embarrassing. The Great Khali and Natalia start singing Summer Love from Grease, which, Zack Ryder starts singing Friday, which is a song I've never heard of, but apparently it's popular. Broken up by Piper whacking him with a coconut. This is one of my markout moments of the night. Next up is Yoshitatsu and Chris Masters. It's Yoshitatsu singing We Will Rock You while Masters flexes the beat of the song with his pecs, and that's just awkward. And then Gangster Swoggle comes in, and it's Hornswoggle with his jacket and shades and all that, and Teddy Long says, well, you can't take him on tour with you because he can't really talk. And then they all leave, and then there's some really bad voiceover rap thing that Hornswoggle does with himself and the Bellas, which is why do they have Hornswoggle? Like, he was annoying when he had a point. When he was with Finley. Now it's just, yeah. But little comical interlude is okay. The 8-man tag is not worth mentioning, other than the fact that it was a 1 minute and 33 second match. Heath Slater is the jobber of the core, and we made Sheamus and Daniel Bryan a dark match so that we could have this shit. All I'm going to say about the 8-man tag. We go back to the back. Rock's hanging out with Eve and starts boasting and hitting on her and being all weird. He says, I can make a WrestleMania moment with anybody that comes around that corner. And of course, it's WrestleMania. The person that comes around the corner is Mae Young, and she says she wants the people's strudel, and that's awkward, and Rock makes fun of her for being old, and then she leaves and grabs his ass on the way out. And the next person he runs face to face with is Austin. And this is my second markout of the night. I mean, I'm sorry. These guys lit up 3 different WrestleManias. I didn't expect that they were going to fight that night. You had to know it wasn't going to happen. They both have other things to do. But just to see them face to face, just that moment for a couple of seconds was enough. You know, they had a handshake. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. And that was all it took, really. Okay, Orton Punk. Oh yes. My first question is why, after Orton got rid of the entire Nexus and after CM Punk put down the Nexus, why is Punk still wearing the Nexus colors, the Nexus t-shirt? Why does he have a big Nexus logo in his entrance video? Is he like the Nexus of One? I really don't know. Is he going to build a new Nexus, which will be retarded, will it not? Okay, Punk goes for Orton's leg right away, because we all remember Punk went for Orton's knee 2 weeks ago with the monkey wrench, and then the following week on Raw, Orton went for the punt and incredibly failed because his knee is all fucked up and heavily taped and all that. Anyways, Punk goes viciously for Orton's leg right away, fought off by Orton very, very aggressively, tackles Punk to the outside quite quickly. Punk leaps over the steps in a brilliant little piece of business where he hops over the steps, and while Orton's chasing him, he kicks the steps towards Orton's knee, which was good. Back in, top rope crossbody by Punk. Orton sells the knee awesomely as Punk begins to batter it in the corner. Orton hits his little wraparound backbreaker. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. If anybody knows, please put it down there, because I'm just going to call it the Orton backbreaker for now. And then Punk backs Orton up into the corner and does a weird sort of stun thing, because he picks up Orton's leg, lays his foot on his shoulder, has all the pressure coming down, there we go, coming down on the knee, and just basically gives his leg a stunner. My explanation of it obviously doesn't do it justice, but it was a pretty decent and pretty painful looking maneuver. Punk hangs Orton's knee in the ropes, knee drops to Orton's knee repeatedly, and then puts Orton in the Tree of Woe, and climbs sort of over him, and gives his face a knee drop while he's still hanging in the Tree of Woe. So his face is hurting, his leg is hurting, Orton is not having a good night. Orton can't even stand properly to set up the GTS properly, but fights out of the GTS and attempts an RKO. Punk breaks with a high kick to Orton's face. Orton crotches Punk on the ropes. Orton hits a top rope superplex on Punk, which, while still how can I say this? He pulls off another brilliant spot here. This brilliant sort of top rope superplex, but he still does it in such a way that sells the leg. Does that make sense? I guess it's going to have to, because that's it. Punk recovers and brings Orton to the corner, where he pulls off the Bret Hart style figure 4 around the posts, and I mark out a lot. It has to be said, throughout this whole match, I turned my computer off so that I wouldn't be doing anything else like Facebooking and emailing and whatnot throughout the show, but I was taking a look at my phone every now and then, because myself and Fositude, who's in my subscription box, and another guy that everybody should check out, we're trading statuses quite frequently. I marked out hard for the Bret Hart thing, but Punk applies a leg lock and beats Orton's leg knee repeatedly. Orton with 2 clotheslines, a snap slam, and a Fez press, and then Orton hits his awesome version of the angle slam, which I love. Punk leg sweeps Orton and applies the Anaconda Vice, which doesn't really follow the psychology, but it's kind of like, okay, your leg's hurting enough, I'll leave that alone and I'll work on your head too. So if you alter your thought pattern a little bit, it's a different kind of, I'm going to attack your whole body kind of psychology, which is fine and wonderful. And Orton takes Punk's head into the post and then hits his suspension DDT. Orton wants a punt, but okay. Punk is down on hands and knees, typical position for the punt, and very much like on Raw the previous Monday, except better, Orton goes to run for the punt, totally. The idea being, I guess, that he's totally pushing through the pain, pushing through the adrenaline, so he's going to get the punt no matter what, and his leg absolutely crumples like paper underneath him. The selling job, I can't express enough. This match and the Alberto Del Rio Edge match, the selling of the supposedly injured body parts was superb. Punk tries one of his handspring handspring, clothesline, tackle type maneuvers, and is caught mid-air in an RKO, and RKO wins the match. I like the way this match went. It was given a perfect amount of time. I was in it. There was not a point in the match, even when the guys were pausing to sell a little bit, there was not a point in this match where I even looked away from the screen, other than when I was making my one little comment about the Bret Hart figure 4. The ending was brilliant too. The ending was brilliant. The ending would have had more impact if we hadn't seen the match with Evan Bourne and Randy Orton a while ago, where Bourne tried the airborne and got caught midair. Because so now anytime that happens to somebody, it's like, okay, we've seen it. If I hadn't seen that, this would have been spectacular. This would have set my night on fire. But okay, all that being said, I'm still going to say what I said in my preview video was right. I'm sorry, there's a lot of fans of other people that are going to give me a lot of heat for this. This, in my mind, unquestionably, the match of the night. Unquestionably, the match of the night. Anyways, moving on, because I really don't want to start fights with people at, 10 to 1 in the morning. We go to the back again, and The Rock is talking to Mean Gene. The Rock says he's going to meet John Cena's biggest fan, and John Cena's biggest fan supposedly is Pee Wee Herman, and this was just lame. And The Rock says, well, you don't want to be a fan of John Cena because you'll end up looking like this. And Mean Gene comes back into the screen with a Cena shirt and a Cena hat over his suit, and it just, yeah. So that's it, and Pee Wee Herman has now decided he's going to be on Team Bring It with The Rock, and that's just wonderful, isn't it? Promotion for the History of WrestleMania DVD, no big deal. I might pick it up, I might not. We have the presentations of the Hall of Fame. Abdullah the Butcher, Sonny, Bullet Bob Armstrong, Drew Carey, who got booed out of the building, and the Legion of Doom. And of course, I'm leaving out one name, aren't I? I'm leaving out one name when I don't mention Shawn Michaels. When they were done announcing all those other guys with the typical fanfare-ish sort of Hall of Fame music, Shawn Michaels got his own entrance before they announced him and took center stage, and all these other guys kind of fell by the wayside the way it was presented. Now, Shawn Michaels' contributions to wrestling are almost unparalleled, and I would agree that he deserves his own pedestal, but I don't know how I feel about him overshadowing the rest of the people in his class. I haven't decided how I feel about that yet. Is that fair enough? Alright. Cole and Lawler. Oh, yes. This wasn't nearly as messy and all over the place as I thought it was going to be, quite honestly. I thought we were going to get run-ins by everybody we could think of, and my camera's being sketchy. Excuse me. There we go. Jerry Lawler goes back to the back to get ready, and King goes back to get ready. Booker T and JR are announced as they join Josh Matthews on commentary. Michael Cole comes out with no music, just him shit-talking JR and shit-talking the King and whatever. Coming out in them ugly-ass wrestling tights, and they're bright orange, and nobody should see that much of Michael Cole, and he's got a gross amount of tattoos for the nerd that he is. Swagger's announced, Austin's announced, and Swagger isn't even fully down the ramp yet. Austin almost runs him down with his 4x4. I love that his 4x4 has become as much part of his persona as, like, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4, and, you know, Triple H's sledgehammer, and, you know, Eddie Guerrero's jacked up cars and stuff like that. I love that the 4x4 is just, if Austin's there, you know the 4x4 is going to be there too. I love that. Cole hides in the coal mine, because yes, they brought the coal mine, that stupid little plexiglass box thing, to WrestleMania. Oh yeah, they did. Cole hides in the mine, and he starts warming up, starts doing jumping jacks and stretches on his announce table, because that doesn't make him look like a tool, right? So Swagger tries to attack Lawler. I've lost my spot. Oh yes. Lawler takes out Swagger for the moment, goes back. There's a hole cut in the front of the coal mine, and Cole starts, whimpering off and tries to call a truce and da-da-da-da-da. And instead of taking his truce, Lawler grabs him by the arm and starts banging his face into the lid or into the wall of the coal mine. Then hops in and starts beating him up inside the box, and yeah. So he finally gets him out of the coal mine, throws him headfirst into the general manager stand. Oh yeah, bring attention to the fact that the Raw general manager stand is there. Oh, good things are going to come from this, right? Finally takes and tosses him into the ring, but before Lawler can get to the ring, he's taken out by Swagger again, who puts him in the ankle lock for a little bit of time there. As Lawler's trying to get in the ring, he's hit by a really, really sloppy baseball slide by Cole. Cole tries to make Austin count Lawler out, and when King gets back in the ring, as much as this pains me to say, and I know other people have said it already, Cole doesn't look good doing anything in this match, but what he does do in this match does make sense. He keeps stomping the leg, working the leg, stomping the knee, etc., etc., etc. Then Cole runs into the corner as if he's going to do Swagger's sort of second rope Swagger splash thing that he does, then moves down to the bottom rope and does a little tiny splash. Finally tries to put the ankle lock on the King. The King reverses and starts beating Cole. Swagger tosses in the towel like a manager would in a boxing match. Austin does not care in the slightest. I wrote right here on the sheet, Austin cares not. Swagger comes in, tries to argue with Austin. We all know what's coming. Swagger gets a stunner. Oh, yes. Yes, he does. King beats down Cole. King hits a drop kick and a top rope fist on Cole. King and Austin have a good laugh as King goes for the pin and then pulls him up again. Instead rolls him over for the ankle lock. Austin does not stop the match right away. Cole is sitting there whining like a little bitch, and Austin's like, What? Do you want to give up? Do you want to give up? But he doesn't stop the match. He has a good 15 seconds in the ankle lock or whatever. Lawler wins, and Cole is carried out by Swagger like a little bitch. Booker T, who's on commentary and who's also doing Tough Enough with Stone Cold, goes into the ring to celebrate with Stone Cold and Lawler as they're having a beer, and Austin gives him a beer and a stunner for no reason. Then we hear it. The general manager deems that because Austin overstepped his bounds as the guest referee, the decision will be reversed. Josh Matthews was the unfortunate soul that gave us this news, so he gets a beatdown from King and a stunner from Austin as well. Good times had by all. So Matthews is gone, and Booker T is gone, and we are left with JR and the King to commentate the rest of WrestleMania. No complaints here. Josh Matthews is good, but nobody is JR. Let's just be clear about that. Now, I had said in my preview video about this match that they would never ever ever have Cole win this match. Everybody wants to see Cole get his ass kicked. Now, they've done a pretty cool thing here. Now, if you think about it going forward, the fans in the arena, the fans watching the show on pay-per-view, got what they wanted. They got to see Cole get the shit kicked out of him, and they got to see Cole get beaten. But Cole has the technical win, and he did it in such cowardly fashion, hiding behind the general manager, that it's going to get him so much nuclear heat. As I said in my previous, that's going to become a cliche phrase from me, isn't it? Nuclear heat. Yeah, that's going to be one of mine. That's going to be like JR Slobberdocker. I'm going to say everybody that pisses me off from now on has nuclear heat from me. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. But he has nuclear heat going from here on in. I mean, King got his moment. King got his victory. Like, if you pause your DVD a couple seconds before the general manager's announcement, there's King. There's him having his victory. There's him having his victory beer with Austin and watching Booker T get stunned and all that. But as I say, for the rest of the show, we have the King and JR doing commentary. I kill a lot of trees doing these videos, so I hope you guys appreciate it. And in about 10 million years, when we've got no oxygen to breathe, we will all know why. We have a highlight package showing all the different things from WrestleMania week. WrestleMania Reading Challenge, the WrestleMania Pro-Am Charity Golf, the Wrestlers Art Show, the Hall of Fame, and all that stuff. It's staggering, the effect that WrestleMania has on a city, isn't it? nothing else to really say there. It's quite impressive. Like, you think, I mean, Vince McMahon is a visionary, but you have to know that when he put all his eggs in one basket and did WrestleMania 1, there was no way. There was no way he could have fathomed of this. Okay. Next we have Taker and Triple H, which I knew was overhyped from the beginning. And here's where I'm going to start getting people hating me. It's a hardcore match, more or less. Well, no holds barred. But basically it's a hardcore match. So you can't talk about the psychology or the progression of the match. Really, basically, I can go spot by spot. And that's what I've done for this match. I hope you don't mind. Triple H's Metallica entrance was awesome. The whole For Whom the Bell Tolls and all the little guys with the shields coming out, like, made me think of the Spartan Warriors in the movie 300. The way they all moved as one and such and such. Then you see Triple H himself in a big, elaborate robe and a big skull thing. He himself looked more like something out of Mortal Kombat, which is also not. And then everything goes black, and he's back into his regular wrestling attire, making his regular Triple H entrance. So he did a little bit of something special and brought it back to being very, very him, which was good. Taker had the Johnny Cash bullshit, which is so anticlimactic it makes me shake my head. Anyways, brawling from the start, Triple H is quickly tossed out of the ring. Brawling and brawling and brawling. Triple H eats the steps. Triple H spears Taker through the coal mine, which got an amazing pop because people don't like Michael Cole and such. Brawling back into the ring. Flying clothesline by Undertaker. Old School is countered into a throw by Triple H. Taker is clotheslined out of the ring by Triple H, and Taker eats guardrail like a champ. Triple H tries to pedigree Undertaker on the main announce table, but it is reversed into a back body drop. But it's not back body dropped onto the table. He is back body dropped from the table to the floor, which is a wicked, nasty sort of splatter type of bump. Then the crowd starts chanting something. My TV isn't the greatest, but it sounds like there's an 18-1, 19-0, 18-1, 19-0 chant going through the crowd. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Taker goes back into the ring, only to dive back out of the ring with a suicide dive, much like he did against Shawn Michaels, and much like he did with Shawn Michaels. He didn't make very much contact. He looked like he ate floor, like a champ. Again, the next big spot we have after that is Triple H on the steel steps, who takes a charging Undertaker, reverses him into a spine buster onto the Spanish announce table from the steps, which also looked quite good. In the ring, we see a chokeslam on Triple H and a pedigree countered into a snake eyes on Triple H by the Undertaker. Another Triple H spinebuster on Undertaker and a big boot on Triple H by the Undertaker. A chair shot to Triple H's back by Undertaker. A pedigree from Triple H to the Undertaker. A last ride on Triple H from the Undertaker. A tombstone on Triple H from the Undertaker. Triple H DDTs Taker onto a chair, and it looks again like one of those little dirty splat. There's no bouncing, and I'm sure there was a block, but it still looked good. Pedigree number 2 on Undertaker does not get a pinfall. Pedigree number 3 on Undertaker does not get a pinfall. Triple H, pissed off at this point, I am sure, comes loaded for bear with another chair. 9 shots in a row to the Undertaker's back, and sort of stumbles off and catches his breath. And by the time Undertaker gets to his feet, he belts the Undertaker with a sweet headshot with the chair. And it looked, obviously it was blocked. Obviously, you know, it wasn't as bad as it looks, but it looks good, which means they did a good job, doesn't it? Triple H hits the tombstone on the Undertaker, which was brilliant. Better than the tombstone that Undertaker hits on people these days, I'll say that much. Triple H goes under the ring for his hammer, but in the process of getting back in, gets locked in the Hell's Gate for a hell of a long time, constantly reaching for his hammer, but taps out instead. Taker wins, 19-0, everybody's happy. Neither one of them's walking out of there. Triple H kind of saunters out of there, and Taker's actually taken out on a motorized cart, which I don't know for the rest of the year, but I'm pretty damn sure that's a first for WrestleMania. So of course it got the internet buzzing over, oh, was Taker really in that bad a shape or not? Obviously, as fans, we don't want to see anybody actually get hurt, so I hope he's okay. If he was just selling really well, then that's good. Now, a lot of people that I've seen today, you know, Triple H and Undertaker, match of the night, match of the year, match of WrestleMania. No. I'm sorry. It was a good match for what it was. It was a good, no-holds-barred, hardcore match, and I know the historical significance and the weight that their two names carry on a marquee made this a big match. But as far as watching the actual match, I'm sorry. Del Rio and Edge was better. Punk and Orton was better. So, yeah, I've said it. It was not the greatest match. And it sure as hell wasn't as good as, you know, Taker's matches with Shawn Michaels last year and the year before. It sure as hell wasn't as good as Taker's match with Edge. So it's like, it's not the best WrestleMania match ever. It's not the best match of the year by far. And it's not Undertaker's best WrestleMania match. I'm sorry. None of those points hold true. I'm sorry. Right after that, as if planning was everything, we get the typical WWE don't try this at home video. And it's like, well, duh. Then we have a promo for WrestleMania 28, which, fuck you, Miami, is not coming to Toronto. We have Team Snooki versus, for lack of a better term, Team Vicky. They both make their entrances in. Michelle McCool demands to start the match with Trish. Trish chops Michelle McCool hard. Tries for the Matrix, but the Matrix is stomped by Michelle McCool. The Matrix thing's sort of an undersold spot. I know it's women's wrestling and people really don't care these days, but when Trish is doing her whole Matrix thing, and somebody just comes and stomps on her midsection, to do that Matrix thing, your midsection is like more exposed than it is with any other maneuver in wrestling, really, because you're entirely opened up. So to come and just get stomped like that is... Put it this way, it was the only thing in the match that really caught my attention, other than the fact that Trish Stratus is still smoking hot, and the rest of them are fucking useless. Faithbreaker attempted by Michelle McCool. For those of you who don't know, Faithbreaker is basically AJ Styles' Styles Clash, but it's countered into a facebuster by Trish, and they battle on top of the turnbuckle and fall outside. Double clothesline off the apron from Trish takes out both members of Lay Cool with a quick chick kick on Michelle McCool. Morrison takes out Ziggler on the outside with a innovative looking Starship Pain, and that is Morrison and Ziggler's contribution to the match, because they just fall to the wayside. Trish tags in Snooki, who hits a handspring elbow and a cartwheel splash on Michelle McCool for the win. The only legal people in this match at all were Michelle McCool, Snooki, and Trish Stratus. Layla, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison were never legal in this match at all. Has to be said. If they were going to do this, they should have done it as a women's tag match and gotten it over with that quickly, and then let Ziggler and Morrison have their match on their own, which I'm really hoping they're going to do eventually. But it would have fit this WrestleMania. Just the tone of all the other events that happened at this WrestleMania, I would have liked to have seen that one-on-one. But then again, I would have liked to have seen Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, which was actually announced and then taken away from us. WWE for the fail. We have a promo for... I'm going to stop crinkling paper before I say what happened next. We have a promo for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view next month. And then it is announced that we have a record-setting we have a record attendance for the Georgia Dome for any entertainment event. So that's something to be happy about. Anybody that cares about statistics, they had 71,617 people in the Georgia Dome on Sunday. So that's pretty good. It's not as good as WrestleMania 3 with their 93,000 and whatever they had there. But we're definitely getting there, especially with WrestleMania being held in these big... I'm losing my clipboard. I don't like this. Especially with them being in the big sort of open outdoor-ish venues and the big stadiums rather than the smaller arenas. You know, more people equals more money. More people equals more fans enjoying the product. It's all good. 68,237 people were there in the Sky Dome for WrestleMania 18, which I was at. Hey! Alright, now we have Miz and Cena in the main event. And I'm sorry, but my opinion of the WWE was kind of riding on this match, as far as their direction and where they were going, whatever. Miz's entrance included this big, monstrous video package It was sort of him flipping between two. It was an image of him flipping between two TVs. It was like, okay, when Hogan was winning this title, I was doing this on reality TV. When Flair was doing this, I was doing this in reality TV. When Austin was doing this, I was doing this on Tough Enough. When The Rock was doing this, I was, debuting. And it was really to build up The Miz's ego, for sure. And the kind of character that he is. It was very, very well done. And then obviously he came out. And when he came out, this was beautiful. And I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of The Miz and his cockiness anyway, but there's a big inflatable awesome in the rampway as he's making his entrance. I thought that was fucking beautiful. Cena, on the other hand, has a video package as well that was a prayer, and before and after the video package there was a gospel choir singing him to the ring. It didn't fit. It was kind of like awkward. It was kind of like square peg, round hole, and I didn't like it at all. It didn't do anything for me. Obviously, I don't like Cena anyway, but Cena tosses Miz down a couple times at the beginning of the match to start the match, showing his power and authority and da-da-da-da-da. Trading holds and headlocks and another toss down to the Miz. Miz beats Cena into the corner. Miz hits the perch clothesline on Cena, and I'm calling it the perch clothesline. I really don't know what it's called, that running clothesline that the Miz does, where he actually ends up sitting on the turnbuckle next to the guy that he's clotheslined, because it's a cool little move. But they've never. It's one of those moves that's like a lot of other moves that the newer guys do that they don't really have names for, do they? Anyways, he hits the perch clothesline on Cena, and strong shots one after another on Cena while he's down. Cena comes back with a gut-wrench suplex on the Miz. Miz counters with a side effect. Yes, Matt Hardy style side effect on Cena. Miz misses the perch clothesline for the second time. Cena hits a top rope leg drop on the Miz. Miz with brutal kicks to... Miz hits a brutal kick on Cena's face and then hits another one. Miz baseball slide kicks Cena out of the ring, and a running knee lift by Miz on Cena on the outside is a nice touch. Shoulder blocks and a slam by Cena, 5-knuckle shuffle by Cena, and a short DDT by the Miz with Cena on his knees, and the Miz hitting that quick snap DDT that he does. STFU is countered into the Wizard of Oz, which we haven't seen in a while, which is the two-part neckbreaker that the Miz used to do when he was new. And I wish he would do it more often, because it's a neat little move. Not that the Skull Crushing finale isn't, but expand your repertoire. Miz exposes the turnbuckle, and Cena takes it upon himself to lock the Miz in the STFU. Miz reaches the ropes, and Alex Riley takes Cena's head into the exposed turnbuckle. Skull Crushing finale and a near fall by the Miz. Ref gets bumped. Cena hits the FU, which I refuse to call the attitude adjustment because that's gay. There's no ref around to count. Alex hits a briefcase into Cena's head, and there is a near fall. Miz picks up the case, goes for Cena, misses, hits Alex Riley. Alex Riley is out of the match. Here we have the best part of the entire match, or the most important part to me. After being distracted by the fact that he's just knocked out Alex Riley, Miz falls victim to a perfectly executed FU, and with no interference, with no bullshit, with no referee bump nonsense, the referee is right there. Miz kicks out of the FU. Yes, Superman, the WWE's Superman, John Cena, just hits the Miz with his best punch, and the Miz gets out of it cleanly. Beautiful. Cena is not indestructible. Moving on. Cena clotheslines Miz over the guardrail, and then as Miz is trying to come back, tackles him over the guardrail again. Here we come to the questionable ending that I love and most people don't. Because they're both clotheslined over the rail and neither one of them can move, they are counted out. Everybody boos. The internet, Facebook, everybody lights up with, "This is bullshit, we can't end WrestleMania on a countout." And I'm like, really? Do you guys think they're actually going to do that? Like, I can't suspend my belief far enough to believe that WrestleMania would ever end in a countout. But The Rock comes out, restarts the match. The Rock comes out, first of all, though, and as The Rock is coming out, the general manager, bling, bling, again, and The Rock tells King to sit down, tells JR to sit down, says, "I got this one." Goes to the laptop and starts reading, and I quote, "As the Raw general manager, I think." And of course, it doesn't matter what you think. The laptop gets tossed. The Rock is back in the ring. He starts the match again. No DQs, no bullshit, no nothing. Nothing to cry about. We're restarting the match right now. The bell rings. Rock hits an FU on Cena, drags Miz in for the win. Miz wins the match. Fuck you. Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Rock's about to leave. Sees Miz standing there in the ring. Yep, spinebuster and an elbow drop for the hell of it. But the Miz wins. Super Cena loses at WrestleMania. Oh, fucking yes he does. So, we bring back a little of the Attitude Era to take out the problems of today. Austin takes out Cole, Rock takes out Cena, and I am a happy kid. That is the end of WrestleMania. I am a happy kid. Now we come to Raw tonight that I just finished watching, and the big confrontation between The Rock and John Cena, because he cost him the title, and blah 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 blah. He wants to fight. I figure, okay, they're gonna fight, they're gonna randomly pound the shit out of each other, and the show's gonna end like that. Or, worst case scenario, they're gonna fight at Extreme Rules next month, or some bullshit like that. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. We've forgotten what we just heard last night, and that's that next year's WrestleMania will be in Miami. So yes, the day after WrestleMania, we are announcing the main event for next year's WrestleMania. WrestleMania 28 will be headlined by Rock versus Cena. Oh yes, they have a year to build this, they better do a good job, and I'm hoping against hope that that Rock just wipes the floor with him. It's not going to happen. It's going to be one of those Hogan Rock passing of the torch type things, but I hope somewhere along the way, I hope Cena just gets the living shit kicked out of him, even if it's not in their actual match. But anyways, that's my thoughts on WrestleMania 27, guys. I'm sorry I'm not as animate as I should be. I am tired. It is now 1:15 in the morning, but I have been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, tell your friends, and I will see you later.